Hi, friend. Welcome back to Yoga Borne YouTube. And this is our final day of Meditate Through May. So, congratulations for joining us, even if it's only been for one or two practices, or maybe you have taken time to practice every single day, whichever it was, then we're really grateful to have you here. So, our final day is just going to be a little recap about meditation, really, and offers you the opportunity to maybe make some notes, to reflect on your journey of meditation, whether that's been the 30 days with us so far, whether that's the journey of meditation throughout your life. Could be that you've been practicing for years or on and off, or you're very new. So, if you want to, you could absolutely just listen. If you like to take notes or a bit of a journaler, then maybe go and grab your journal or a pen and paper and press pause now, hit play when you're ready. So, what's the best time to meditate? Often it's recommended meditating first thing in the morning because we all probably know that by the time we've got to the end of our day, sometimes we're a bit like, oh, I don't really know if I can be bothered. Of course, at Yoga Borne, we have classes in the evening, and lots of them include short meditations. So that would help you to establish an evening practice. The morning is a great time, and it is a great start to your day. So it can give you those few undisturbed moments just to pause and to begin your day. But ultimately, I think what we're trying to learn from Meditate Through May is what's the best time for you? So maybe you take note of when you most enjoyed meditating. How do you find time to? Well, how do we find time? How do we find time for anything? It's about creating that time, isn't it? Dedicating it to ourselves, making it a habit. And habits take a long time. And of course, we may break habits and then remake habits. But if you can make it part of your routine, just like combing your hair, brushing your teeth, that can be really helpful. So it could be in the morning, you think, wake up. As soon as you wake up, my 5 minutes of meditation, then I go on about my day. It could be at lunchtime, if you have a set lunchtime that you think, as soon as that clock comes with the time of it's time for lunch, right, I'm going to take my 5 minutes of meditation first. Again, what did you find was the best time for you to meditate? Was the one, or did this differ? Where should you meditate? Anywhere. So, it might be the ideal situation, and we might see on social media that people are meditating on mountaintops and in the middle of beautiful beaches in Bali. But that's not most people's reality. So anywhere that you can find that is reasonably comfortable, anywhere that is reasonably quiet, although once you do have a regular practice, it can be a really useful thing to practice meditation where there is a little bit more distraction. So that can definitely help us with cultivating our deeper practice. It's a wonderful thing to have a dedicated space at home or in a place that you may visit. That is a beautiful thing, but it can't be for everyone. Not everyone can have that kind of space. If you practice in your yoga class, whether that's at home or whether that is in a studio, that could be your dedicated space. What should you wear to meditate in? Whatever you want, really. I mean, you could meditate naked if you wanted to. Just a thought, up to you. But ultimately, whatever you are comfortable in. So I think you have to think about where you are practicing, what time of year. Make sure that you take off your shoes if they're uncomfortable. So even if you're practicing in your office, if you feel like your feet are really warm and your shoes are uncomfortable, that's going to be a distraction. So try and make yourself as comfortable as you can. Loose fitting clothes are ideal. Not having a tight belt on or a tie or anything like that is also ideal. But ultimately, whatever you can best find in that moment. What's a meditation position? So hopefully you've explored a couple of different positions throughout our time together. And there isn't a right or wrong. Again, we see on social media and various other places that we're sat cross-legged, or in half lotus or full lotus or things like this. If that is what works for you, go for it. If it doesn't, then don't sit like that. You could sit on a chair. Try not to lean into the chair. Try and sit with a tall spine, feet to the earth. You could sit on your bed, on your sofa. You can lie down. If we're saying that meditation is an accessible and inclusive practice, then how are we making it accessible and inclusive? If that's by saying we have to sit in full lotus, that's not accessible and inclusive. So what works for you? If you have had a weekend of hiking or something like that, you might feel like your legs need a different position. If you've had a really emotionally draining week, you might feel like you just want to lie down. So again, find out what works for you. Lying down in meditation is fine. I would recommend seated only because I tend to fall asleep when I lie down. If you do lie down, maybe just prop yourself up slightly, make sure that you're comfy. But if you can be seated until the point where you have maybe a really regular practice and you're managing to stay awake, that's great. Is there a particular way that you should breathe? Well, just breathe. We often start with a deeper or a couple of deeper inhales and exhales. But there is no special way to breathe unless part of your meditation practice is focusing on pranayama or different breathing techniques. But ultimately, breathe in a way that is comfortable for you, in through nose if you can, out through nose or out through mouth. So I hope that you have enjoyed Meditate Through May. I hope those little pointers have answered any questions, given you some food for thought. Maybe go away and just have a few moments, have a flick back through the month. Which meditations resonated with you? Which position resonated with you? Which time of day? Was there anything special in the way you set up your space? And hopefully you'll continue on your meditation journey. So daily is a wonderful practice, but even if we can bring this in a couple of times a week, once a week, then it has huge benefits to mental health, also physical health, spiritual well-being. So don't forget to check out all of our meditations if you haven't already. There are also so many free yoga and holistic wellbeing practices on our YouTube channel. If you've got any suggestions of what you would like to see, then just leave us a comment or drop us an email. Take really good care of yourself. Bye for now.